at JIMSVK since inception of IICs by the Innovation Cell MIC as per the norms and directives of Ministry of Education, then Ministry of Human Resource and Development MHRD. It is established to engage large number of faculty, students and staff in various innovation and entrepreneurship related activities such as hackathons, leadership talks, ideation, workshops, seminars and IPR, entrepreneurship and other competitive events to enhance the innovation and entrepreneurship ecosystem in the institute. Now I would like to introduce you all to our esteemed Professor Dr. Anisha Tandon. She has received an MTech degree from the University School of Information Technology GGSIQ and an MCA degree from the Institute of Information Technology and Management IITM GGSIQ in 2011 and 2007 respectively. She has completed a PhD from Jagannath University in 2021. She has more than 16 years of experience in research and academics. She has been working with JIMS for the last 14 years and has published and presented papers at national and international conferences. She is organizing and coordinating various activities at JIMSVK as IIC Innovation Activity Coordinator for the IIC in IIC here. She has also done her basic and advanced level training for Innovation Ambassador for the Ministry of Education. Today, Dr. Anisha will enlighten us on innovation, prototype validation, converting innovation into a startup. Let's warmly welcome ma'am for the session.
Firstly, I just want to ask from you, do you have any idea about the prototype? You are doing the software engineering also, in which we learn about the prototype also. We have the prototype model also. Any idea about the prototype? So, what do you think about the prototype?
Prototype is basically the example of the product we are going to make, and it gets enhanced by making it further.
So it's just like your dummy thing that you make and you give to the customer for providing the feedback. And if there is any issue, we can make it again, or we can do some changes on the basis of the feedback of the customer. We need to redefine it. Okay? So basically, prototype is just like a dummy thing that we give it to the user. We do not give the real model to the user. So here we just want to know about like anything we develop something new that is innovative, and we develop the prototype also for the same. We need to validate it and we need to convert it into the startup. That is a new thing. Okay? Because that is something new which is not into the market there. That's why we are going to discuss about the same, like what is prototype, what are the process of the prototype development, the benefits of the prototyping, advantages, the components, the process of the innovation we need to discuss, and the validation which is related to your prototype. When you create your prototype, so some validation we need to see. Okay. So that the question I was asking, what is a prototype here? Like it is an initial version of the system used to demonstrate the concept and try out your design option. So basically we call it as a dummy of a software product. If you are creating something new, a new software product you are creating, so you make the dummy of the same, so that if there will be a problem with your dummy product, so we can redefine it and we can basically correct the changes, whatever the feedback comes from the customer, and then we redefine, after the redefine of the same, we give it to the customer. So here, prototype concept is basically used to make a product first. Okay, like if we develop any prototype and if there will be a redefine of the same according to the customer's feedback, then we need to test it first. Okay, test करने के बाद basically after the customer's feedback, the result we need to create something redefine of the product there. So this is the basic model that we are performing while creating our prototype. So firstly prototype will be created and we need to according to the customer feedback. We need to test it also. If there will be error comes, we need to correct those error and the result will go to the customer then. So this is the basic model that we need to perform here. Now the prototype pre-production sample here. So if we create any model, anything we need to create, so these are some proper things we need to perform. We need to give the shape to the contents. So basically design comes in that case. There should be some functionality, we give it to the product layer, and then we have the feasibility. Feasibility means, what do you mean by feasibility there? What is feasibility? Yeah, we need to check the profitability of the system. How much it is feasible, how much it is profitable. We need to check. If we create any model, any innovative thing we create, we need to check whether it is profitable or feasible or not. If it is not profitable, then there is no need to make it. Okay, so basically we need to check whether the product is feasible or not. So these are the three factors we need to perform while designing any model, any prototype there. Now, requirement gathering and analysis is also required. So initial step is that we need to gather the requirements from the customer or the questionnaire or different areas. We need to find out the various requirements, what the user thinks. Okay. So initial step is designing the prototype model. So in this phase, users are about what they expect or what they want from the system. So user feedback is required there. We need to check whether it is feasible for the user or not. So that's why requirement gathering is required. We need to gather the requirement according to the user point of view. The next we have like quick design and the build the prototype. After the requirement gathering from the user, like we need to perform the quick design and we need to build the prototype accordingly. Design means we need to give the shape to the content, that whatever the requirements we have gathered, we need to give them a shape there. So converting the basic design through which a quick overview can be easily described and building an actual prototype from the knowledge. Like after getting the requirement, a brainstorming session will be done, and then after that a requirement gathering, we need to give a design, a shape to the contents, and then we need to build a prototype there according to the design. Next, initial user evaluation and refinement. It means that the user will basically check your model whether the product is fine or not. So, discussing the prototype with the user, take the feedback from the user, and we need to check whether what is the user perspective there. So, initial set of user's requirement will be there, and then the quick design will be done. Develop a prototype there, and then the evaluation of the prototype will also be done, and after that we need to gather all the requirements and we need to refine all those requirements, and then the quick design will also done again. So this is basically a process that we need to perform in a circular way. Like we need to take the requirement from the user, we need to give the shape, we need to make a design of the same, we have to make a prototype of the same, we have to evaluate that product, and we have to refine those requirements. So this is a quick process of the prototype development. Like establish the prototype objective. Means what is the meaning of that? Establish prototype objective. Any idea about the same? Basically, if we create any prototype, so we should have a clear objective. We should have a clear objective why we are making that prototype. Anything new which we want should come in the market. So we need to make a prototype of the same, and we need to check the also be there. Planning means like we need to check the feasibility, profitability of that prototype, है ना? And we need to see also that how much time is required to make that prototype also. है ना? We need to check the whether how much time is required and how much time is needed for the same. Then outline the definitions there and executable prototype then comes. We need to make a report also. Evaluation of the report. Like we need to evaluate the prototype and we will make a report accordingly. Like how much the prototype is feasible to us. And then define the prototype functionality, develop, evaluation, the complete process we need to follow to make a prototype and to evaluate the same. Then we will come to the advantages of using our prototype there. Like prototype gives entrepreneur an advantage to test their ideas tangibly. So basically if the entrepreneur comes in the market, he needs to check whether the prototype is good or not. So that is actually benefiting for us to create a prototype first. So prototype helps entrepreneur take iterative actions to refine the idea. Sometimes idea comes, but when we go to the market, so the product will not be successful. The idea will not be successful. The thing is that we have not created any prototype, we have not checked before. So basically we have to check it before by creating the prototype. Then we have helping you get funding from the investor. Any idea about this? What do you mean by that? Why we need an investor?
We need an investor so that we can get appropriate funds for our company so that we can buy various reports that we need, or we can sometimes we need money for hiring, sometimes people need investment for further development of the project.
Yeah, reason equity. So basically the main idea is that if we basically take any idea, we don't have much funds. So we have to look up into the investors for the same, and after selecting the investor, we can basically develop other things there. And then we can go to the market for displaying our idea. And then we have seen how your product or services respond on multiple operating systems, device and platform. It means your idea came into your market and then you are seeing how much it is working, how the thing is working in the marketplace. Next we have the benefits we are having. It basically improves your system usability. It actually basically comes to match with the user's real need, because we basically develop the model according to the needs of the user there. Design quality will also be improved, maintainability will also be improved, and it also basically reduce the development effort. Now, the primary components for the entrepreneur we are having: expertise, passion and opportunity. For any entrepreneur, for any idea, we need to think about these three factors there. Like expertise, we need to be expertise in the particular thing, okay, and then we should have the passion also. If we don't have the passion, then there is no benefit of creating that particular thing. Opportunity is also required. If we do not get the opportunity, we will not be successful. So for the successful entrepreneur, there should be some opportunities there into the market there. Okay, otherwise the business will not be successful. The chances, there must chances will be there, like opportunity, because if we do not have the opportunity, the entrepreneur will not be successful there. Next we have to define the purpose and the goals there. So to understand the purpose of the prototype, establish specific goals, and you want to achieve the design process, and we need to identify the functionality, characteristics and the features of that particular prototype there. Then after that, conceptualize and sketch. We need to give the brainstorming ideas, we need to sketch them, like we need to make the drawings accordingly, we need to make the forms so that how the prototype looks, how it will take the shape there. So visualize different design possibilities like size, shape, materials, user interactions are required there. So there are different software also we use for the same, like Draw.io, Figma are some softwares which we can use to make our prototype designs. So if we take any building also, so we need to give the shape to that building. So basically we need to make a diagrams also for the same. So next we have the test evaluation, and we need to assess the performance and the functionality of that prototype. We need to evaluate it. So we need to find out the different flaws of the same. What are the usability issues? Like if we use something, so some issues can also come. And we need to check the different areas of the improvement. And we gather the feedback from the user or the stakeholder to refine the design further. And then we need to iterate and redefine. According to the test results and the feedback, we need to make the necessary actions for the prototype design. And then accordingly, we need to repeat the testing. Whatever the changes we have made, then we need to retest them, and overall performance will also be recorded. Documentation is the most important there, because whatever we are making, we need to make a document of the same. Okay, so design specifications, what are the things are required there, what are the notes, observations that is required for the documentation purpose. It is required for the future reference also. So communicating to the design to others. Next we have the scaling up. Once the prototype design has thoroughly tested and refined, we need to scale up. Why we need to scale up? Any idea why we need to scale up the things? Any idea? We need to check it is important, very important, like not so important. We need to scale up accordingly. We need to check in which stage it is having. So it is an iterative process of several rounds, testing, refinement, reiteration is required. Next we have the innovation process. Turning the idea into the reality requires establishing a innovation process. So that process forces you to think about different steps to ensure you are solving the right problem, regularly gathering the requirements from the customer, iterating the requirements whenever it is required, and securing the right resources and methods. So we need to check whether we are using the right resources, or also there we need to use the proper methods to fully realize the innovation. So whatever the idea you are having, it should be innovative. So according to that, we need to follow the innovation process. And then we have the prototype development here. Once the concepts are solidified, the goal is to develop a prototype. We need to take a proper paper and pen. So we need to test it. Initial feedback is required. So basically, whenever we create a prototype, then the MPP will be created. MPP stands for minimum viable product. So the initial feedback we take from the customer, we give the prototype to them, we take the initial feedback from the customer, then the MPP will be created. So it is basically used for taking the feedback from the customer. Okay, so by creating an MVP, users can better visualize how the product might work and provide a better feedback on that so that team can use to iterate from. So if we go to the iteration process, we need to take the feedback from the user. So is a prototype the same as proof of concept or minimum viable product? We need to understand these two terms here. POC is basically theoretical, completely theoretical. It is used to test basically the potential and viability of the product or the service. So MVP is basically we can say basic version of the product that the general public can access after you officially launch. So MVP will be created after the product is launched, and before the product launch we create a basic document that is called as your proof of concept. So it is basically containing all of your idea there. For example, we actually basic on the same. If your idea is viable, we need to see whether the idea is viable or not. So you would put together a prototype. You can see how the application looks, how we feel it, how it works, and then finally you create a MVP and launch it into the public. MVP means we have taken the feedback from the customer and we are launching it into the market. So this is the thing. Basically we need to make the proof of concept. That means we are creating a document of the same and we creating the MVP. That basically it means that we are launching our product into the market. Okay. So this is all for the thing. Anything you want to ask, please.